Fine, so we start with the session on data interpretation today. So DI is important. There were last year, I think there was 24 questions on DI. Almost 6 questions per set into 4, which is 24 questions. Normally from the 4 sets which are there, normally from the 4 sets which are there, 3 sets are doable or good, easy. Okay, 1 set could be a little tough. That's what it is. But the number of questions are high, so you need to focus on that. Hi Vinay. So a lot of questions, and therefore it becomes important as far as the examination is concerned. Also, a DI you can always improve your speed. So focus on improving your speed in DI. I'm sure if you practice regularly, you should be able to do DI well. Sunny, accuracy in cons could be DI itself. Apart from DI, if you're not looking at pure cons, you can do all the arithmetic part like the averages, then percentages, profit and loss, time speed distance, time and work. You can do those topics. Hi Nidhi. Right, so with this we'll start with a DI question. So today the topic is arithmetic based DI. Next set I'll take arithmetic based DI. I thought let me start with the first this set and then we'll look at the arithmetic based DI. Can you take DI on PNDC? What is PNDC? I didn't get your question, Jayesh. DI is normally tough when the options are very close, when the numbers are big, when you feel the calculation is difficult. At that point, DI becomes tough. Yes, profit and loss also you can look at. On profit and loss DI, if it's there here, I'll take it up. I'm not sure if it's there in this series of questions. If it's there, I'll take it up. But I'm taking some type of questions here in terms of arithmetic based DI. Yeah, so when you have huge numbers like this, I mean you can't calculate such big numbers, so it doesn't make sense to focus on such big numbers. But if you look at the options are far, so when you have such big numbers, it makes sense to approximate and calculate it. Okay, avoid calculating accurately, just approximate and calculate. One of the ways to approximate is just take the initial 2 digits or so. So you can make out here it's grown from 42 to 68 and so on. Here basically I want growth rate of sales of books at primary school levels. So when you talk of primary school levels, it's gone from 42 to 68. Yeah, good evening Weber. So when you say 42 to 68, you have to be good at calculating 10%, 20%, 50%. So what is 50%? So 42, 50% is 21, half of 42, which means 63. So 63 will become 50%. But 68 is more than that, more than 63. So I can definitely say it's more than 50%. So I can mark the answer 63% directly. It's definitely not 163%, right? I repeat again, whenever numbers are really big and the options are far like this, you can always approximate by taking initial few digits. Nothing like that. It depends on how far the options are. So options are quite far, so you can take initial 2 digits for any number of digits of and then solve. So 42 to plus 21 will give you 63, right? So I'm talking of growth of primary level from 1975 to 1980. I'm taking only the initial 2 digits to calculate. So if I take 42 as 1975, from the options, if I look at 50% growth rate, 50% is half, 21. This is 50% growth rate. The value will become 63. But I have 68 as a value. If I have 68 as a value, so automatically the value has to be more than 50%. If it is more than 50%, the only option which is left is 63%. Yes, simplification is asked in the area. Okay. Akhil Shah. Right, I hope this is clear. They were asked growth rate, which means percentage growth rate. So when you talk of growth rate, normally one way of finding out growth rate is final upon initial minus 1 into 100 growth rate, or you have to look at ratio final upon initial. Wherever the ratio final upon initial is high, the growth rate is highest. Wherever it is low, the growth rate is lowest. Now we are talking about low. I make it India. I didn't understand your question, Akhil. Okay, anyway, so if I'm looking at growth, here it's grown from 42 to 68, we know it's more than 50%. Here is grown from 8 or 88, you can say, to 201, which is more than double. I mean, 8 to 201 is more than double, so more than 100%. So secondary obviously is ruled out. Higher secondary 65 up to 82, and graduate level 25 to 36. These are two things that you have to compare: higher secondary and graduate level. Right? So yeah, I started now. So when you talk of higher secondary, the growth is 17 upon 82. If you look at 17 upon 65 for higher secondary, 65 and 82. The growth is 17. And whereas the graduate level, the growth is 11 out of 25. Okay, graduate level, the growth is 11 upon 25. So if you look at properly, 17 upon 65 growth is less than 1/3, and 11 upon 25 is more than 1/3. You can directly mark the answer as higher secondary, C option. It is growth rate, not growth, percentage growth. You can find the growth rate. 11 upon 25 is 44% growth rate. So this is 11 upon 25 growth, which is 44% growth rate. This is growth of 17 upon 65 into 100. You can make out less than 1/3, so less than 33% growth. So the lowest growth rate will be higher secondary. I'm still wondering, am I doing wrong or are you all doing wrong? Because most of you have got the answers B or D. Right? I think the answer is C. Anyway, let's go ahead. I hope you understand. When you say growth rate, it's simple. It's not very difficult. It's just simple calculation. Yeah. Good evening, Rohit. You need to just look at simple things and go about it. Take initial two digits. 42 to 68 is more than 50%. We calculated in the previous case. 8 to 20 is more than double, so more than 100%. We have only left with higher secondary and graduate level. So if I compare, the growth in higher secondary is 17 upon 65, which is less than 1/3, and graduate level is 11 upon 25, is more than 1/3. So automatically you can make out that answer will be C option, higher secondary. No, I'm not aware about it, Akhil Shah. I think approximation works faster than any digit sum method, but I don't know. Maybe I've seen a lot of I've not seen actually, but I've seen some of these techniques, and it doesn't work with me. So you need to remember a lot of things, and I can't remember so many things. So, but you can try it out, see if it works. You can go ahead. Yeah, good evening, Vijay. Let him poke. What I have to do with him? My concern is my students and they doing good. I have no way concerned with what he has to do. Not 21 upon 42. The growth, first question Hardik, growth was 42 to 68 is 26 upon 42 into 100 in the first question Hardik. Yeah, the answer is 100 percentage. Look, secondary, because secondary is more than double. If you look at 8 to 20, it's more than doubled. Everywhere is less than double. Only in secondary it's more than double. You can directly make the answer secondary option, B option. Right, in everywhere else it is less than double, but secondary you can directly make out it's more than doubled, and because it's more than doubled, it's more than 100 percentage, so automatically you can make out that the answer will be B option. No, I have not seen the strategy and I don't think it will work anyway. From whatever I've heard from past from the students over the years, I don't think it works. So I will not waste my time looking at it. Hardik, I explained it to you. I am going to explain it to you again. It's grown from 40 times. This is the fourth time explaining Hardik to you specifically. So please pay attention. 42 to 68 is a growth. The growth is 26 upon 42 into 100. That's how you get 63%. Yeah, Rohit, I think you can give mocks as per admit card slot. Makes more sense. So which of the categories has either consistent growth or a consistent decline? So growth or a decline, if you look at it, it has to continuously grow. You can make out a graduate level is growing consistently, increasing consistently. So answer is D option. Yes, graduate level. Graduate level is consistently increasing, therefore graduate level is the answer. Okay, so we come to some arithmetic based DI. So arithmetic based DI has come in the past in the exam. Okay, and so we will take a few questions on just to be familiar, because similar some comes in the exam. Just take one set and solve just to be familiar with the sets. By chance if the set comes, you don't have to think of how to solve it. Since you have seen the sums, you know how to solve it and you can go this one. You don't have to focus too much on it. Just be familiar and then solve. Ritesh, if you had not taken the 2-digit calculation, you would have taken a long time to solve. Anyway, yeah, see, some of the questions could be as easy as this. I mean, Marik, did you calculate it? Just solving blind. Well, blind means you play cards and you play blind that way. Just mark no. Some of these sums are calculation intensive, Akhil, but if you know how to approximate it, becomes much better. Normally Vijay, CT DI is normally doable. Maybe one of set could be difficult, but most of the sets are doable as far as CT DI goes. If I was a student, I would maybe solve 2 or 3 mocks, not more than that. I think I'm putting a video today on 7 days, so you should get a video after this session is over. I think there should be a video around. But anyway, I would write 2 or 3 videos, mocks, sorry, and focus on my analysis of past mocks. Whatever I've done in the past, I'll go to it. Yes, I started the batch already. But there's nothing specific about that. I'll be taking up whatever I take out here itself or similar. Yes, it is. It should be 68 minus 42 divided by 42. Yes, Manda. Okay. Okay, coming to this, the difference is not very difficult. This sum, it looks very difficult, but actually it is not very difficult. and I don't know why people are getting C as the answer. Anyway, if the difference between a distance traveled by car C and car F is 160 kilometers, while the speed of car C is 80 kilometers per hour, find the speed of car D. Actually, this first statement is not required at all. You can ignore this completely. Okay, you can completely ignore this. So how is the speed calculated? If you look at C, the speed is calculated as distance upon time. So for C, the speed is 25 upon 20, and for D, the speed is 20 upon 10. Okay, or you can say it's 5 upon 4 and 2. That's the speed. This is the speed. Okay, but 5 upon 4 it's given as standing for 80. Right, 5 upon 4 stands for 80. So 2 will be how much? Okay, 5 upon 4 stands for 80. So 2 will be how much? You can cross multiply. You will get 80 into 2 upon 5 upon 4. You will get 128, which is A option. So since I'm comparing, look, now if I'm given this sum in the exam and I don't know about it, I will take a longer time to solve. But now since I'm familiar and I know a similar sum come in the exam, I can do it fast. It's just familiarity, because in CET, in the exam, you can't think for a long time. It has to be just doing fast, and that's what helps in the examination. So focus on solving fast and going about it. That is what will help. Okay, so if I look at C, okay, I repeat this again. Speed is equal to distance upon time. So we look at C, speed is 25 upon 20, which is 5 upon 4. D speed is 20 upon 10, which is 2 upon 1. 20 upon 10 or 2. So 5 upon 4 stands for 80. So 2 stands for how much? If you cross multiply, you will get the answer is 128. So automatically A will be the answer. Yes, we have already started a batch. Right now I'm not taking any, we've stopped admission. Anyway, it's a few lectures which we'll be taking. I don't know, Make in India, what mocks are you giving, so I can't comment on it. Very difficult to just say what mocks and which will help. I have no idea about time mocks, Siddhartha. I have not seen those mocks, so I can't comment on it. Rechecking doesn't help. It's just a waste of time rechecking. So right, now if I look at it, this one, not difficult, it's easy. Only a lot of extra data is given out here. All this is not required at all. All this information is not required. You can ignore all this information. You can directly get the answer. I don't have a target score. It doesn't make sense. Yes, so if you look at speed of car D and speed of car C, what is speed of car D? 20 upon 10 or 2 upon 1. The speed of car D, if I look at, is 2. 20 upon 10 or 2. And speed of car C, was 5 upon 4. So how much is speed of car D more than speed of car C? So it is grown from 1 point, this is 1.25. So 1.25 to 2, which is an increase of 0.75 upon 1.25. Okay, that is 2 minus 1.25 is 0.75 upon 1.25 into 100, which will get directly 60% more. D option. Right now, Abhijit, looking at techniques from the book doesn't help. Just practice a little and that should be comfortable with it. Normally, you have only one caselet. So you don't have 2 to 3 caselets. One caselet could come, not always, but sometimes it could come one caselet, not normally more than that. Right? Okay, so again I solve this as such. So we are looking at card D and card C. Card D we know is 2, card C we know is 5/4. How much more it is? So from 1.25 to 2 is increase of 0.75 upon 1.25, which is nothing but 60%. Yeah, if your question were to find the exact value, you will review the data that is given to you and solve. So I'm not sure but tomorrow I'll be able to take. There is the JBIMS alumni meet, so I may have to go there. Yes, Mohammed Kazi. So again, yes, so if you look at the speed of car A is 80 kilometer, I want speed of car C, right? So A is 20 upon 15. For A it is 20 upon 15 or 4 upon 3. For C we know is 5 upon 4. So again 4 upon 3 stands for 80. 5 upon 4 will be how much? Cross multiply. 5 upon 4 into 80 upon 4 upon 3. 420. 4 5. You'll get 75 as the answer, which is A option. Right, good. Difficult to advise anything without seeing your mocks. Maybe you can identify practice areas where the weightage is high, like DI, visuals, etc., and try to score on that. Because 1500 is not required at all, because you can easily compare two people's speed, right? So 1500 is not. You can use 1500, you'll get the same answer. But if you don't want to use, why would you want to use it? Yeah, I believe so. Or they would want some people to calculate the whole thing and get the answer. So I have picked up this from the previous question. So I don't know where is this question, but yes, it must be from some paper where someone must have created a question, and you need to get the answer. So here you'll use the data. So it's 2000 kilometer complete. Car B traveled 3/5 of the distance. So what is the car B? Car B has traveled 10% distance. So this becomes 200 kilometers. So 3/5 of 200 is 120 kilometers. So car B has traveled 120 kilometers at 60 kilometers per hour, and the rest 80 kilometers at 20 kilometers per hour. So you can make out the speed. Time will be 2 plus 4, 6. Remember, time is equal to distance upon speed. 120 upon 60 plus 80 upon 20, which will give you 6 hours as the answer. It may be the timing, Jignesh. See, when are you solving your cont, when are you solving your LR? Normally, if you the psyche of a person keeps changing throughout the paper, identify what is the right time to solve a particular area. That should help you to maybe score more. I don't think there's any great advantage of solving last year's paper, but you can't, there's no harm in solving also. So I don't see any great advantage or disadvantage in the two. But only thing, when you're solving the last year's memory based paper, don't assume that this year's paper will be same or same pattern. As long as you can do that, then it's fine. Okay, now this okay, here it becomes a little tricky. Going back, in reality, maybe approximation may help. If you can approximate it, it helps to be fast. So total time taken by all the can is 40 hours, and the difference between speed of car A and C. Let's look at speed of car A. Car A is 20 upon 15 speed of car A, and speed of car C is 5 upon 4. So that is 4 upon 3 and 5 upon 4. Difference is 5 kilometers per hour. But I don't know what is 4 upon 3. Let's say 4 upon 3 x, okay, and 5 upon 4 x. I'm taking it 4 upon 3 x and 5 upon 4 x, right? So if it's 4 upon 3 x and 5 upon 4 x, right, we use this here. So 4 upon 3 x minus 5 upon 4 x is equal to 5 kilometers per hour. Take x common, you'll get 12. 1 upon 12 x equal to 5, or you'll get x equal to 60. So moment you get x 60, that means overall, okay, moment you get x 60, overall the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. So overall the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. X is the overall speed, 60. So A speed is 4 upon 3 of x, C speed is 5 upon 4 into x, overall speed of 60 kilometers per hour. But okay, I'll tell you how the x comes from. So what is the speed of A? Speed of A is 20% of total distance upon 15% of total time. This distance upon time comes as x I've taken, overall speed, which is same for everyone. Total distance upon total time is x. So if I know 40 hours, that means the total distance is 60 into 40. The total distance is 60, that is speed into time 40, which is 2400 kilometers. We want the distance traveled by f, 15%. So f has traveled 15% of 2400. We'll get the answer is 360. Doesn't work necessarily that way. That 13 gets cancelled somehow. I understand normally how to do that if it's very time consuming, but remember time comes in a denom. Yeah. Here the speed is 360. Sorry, the distance travel is 6. Okay, I'll explain once more. So first of all, speed, just to explain, speed of A is what? Speed of A is 20% of total distance, and speed of and 15% of total time. I take total distance upon total time, which is the overall speed, as x. So automatically speed of A becomes 4 by 3x, speed of C becomes 5 by 4x, and difference of that is 5. From that I get x equal to 60, which is the overall speed is 60. If the overall speed is 60 and we know the time is 40 hours, so overall distance will become 2400 kilometers, and we want 15% of 2400, which will be 360. I hope it's clear. Give your best if you want. Mine, I normally solve most of, let's say 45 plus in around 40 minutes. Mix, Jignesh, maybe you can start with error, then middle solve content, and come back to error. Depends. Normally I solve most of the questions. I normally leave verbal, so I would maybe still end up. But yes, if the questions are very lengthy, I would leave it. If the questions are short, I can still solve it. Quantity of milk in the final mixture A is what percent of amount of water in the final mixture B. So if you look at remaining mixture is 60 here. Okay, remaining mixture is 60 and milk and water has to be 7:5. So 7 plus 5 12, 12 5 is 60. That means milk will be 7 5 is 35 here and water will be 25. Total 60. Milk and water. Now you added 5 liters water, so water becomes 30 and the ratio is 3:2, so milk becomes 45. So amount of water, amount of milk in mixture A is 45, that I know. I'll come back to it, explain it again. Let's go to B. B, remaining mixture is 81, which is divided ratio 5:4. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 9s are 81. Since 9 9s are 81, it becomes 5 9s are 45 and 4 9s are 36. We had 5 liter milk, so it has become milk becomes 50, but the ratio is 5:4, so water will become 40. So what amount is 45 more than 40, which is 5 upon 40 or 1 upon 8 or 112.5%. C option. Right, I'll solve it. I'll tell you again. Just be familiar. You don't have to be good at it, but be familiar. It's not difficult. So remaining mixture is 60. So you have total quantity first, then you have ratio of milk and water. You sold some quantity and remaining mixture. The remaining mixture will be in the same ratio, 7:5. So if you break up 60 in a ratio of 7:5, you will get a ratio as 35 and 25. But you have add 5 liters of water. If you add 5 liters of water, it becomes 30 liters of water. So to make the ratio 3:2, final mixture ratio 3:2, your milk has to be 45. Okay, so you will get 45 liters of milk. Coming to second part. Now here 81 is the total. 81 you're breaking up in a ratio of 5:4. 5 plus 4 9, 9 9s are 81. So 5 9s are 45, 4 9s are 36. So 45 and 36 you get. You are adding 5 liters of milk. So milk becomes 50 and the ratio is 5:4, so we know water is 40. So how much is milk out of water? 45 out of 40 into 100, which will be 112.5%. This 30, I think 30 is decent score, Rakshita. If you can score 30 or 35 minutes in quant, it's like a good score, decent. It has come in the exam, not very often, but there was a set on this one. Last to last year, I think. Last to last year there was a set on this. Similar one of the arithmetic based DI. Ishida, none of the mocks are in par with CT or actual. I mean the actual CT is some part of each of the mocks which are there. So similar, you have 96 liters, from that you have sold 24. So what is left is 72 is left. 72 to ratio, divided ratio 5 to 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 nines are 72. So 5 nines are 45. 3 nines are 27. So 45 to 27. You add 3 liters water, so water becomes 30. 2 is to 1. So this has to be 60. Milk and water. This is for C. And D. Now if you're coming to D, 78, 39 you sold, 39 left. 39 left in a ratio of 7 is to 6. 7 6 are 13. 13 3 are 39. So 21 is to 18. Because 7 3 are 21, 6 is 18. You add 9 liters of milk, so it becomes 30. Ratio of 3 is to 2, so this becomes 20. You want amount of water in the mixture D and amount of milk in the mixture A. So answer will be C, 3 is to 1. Yes, Ayan. Piyush, yes. So if you're familiar with this, it becomes easy to solve. Okay, if you're familiar, then it becomes easier to solve. Yes, Ishita, it's always possible to get marks. Okay, I'm going back 1 minute. How 60 liters milk? So if you look at here, when you solve, you got 30 liters water, and they said the final ratio is 1 is to 2. So automatically milk has to be double of water. So milk will become 60 liters. For C. It has come in the exam, Hardik. I'm not saying it's coming. It has come in the exam in the past. So can it come again? Yes. I mean, if it was never come in the exam, I would not even take it arithmetic based DI. So it has come past. It can come. I'm not saying it's a high probability, but no, being familiar with it may help. Depends on your comfortable, Rajat. So if you're comfortable solving puzzle back to back, solve. But some people get tired, so it makes sense to not solve back to back. Okay, coming to here, in the mixture H contains amount of milk equal to 20% more than the amount of milk in mixture E. If you look at E, 28 is left in a ratio of 4 is to 3. 7 4s are 28, so 16 and 12 for E. You add 8 liters of water, so becomes 20, so this becomes 30 for E. Coming to so here it has 20% more milk equal to 20% more than the amount of milk in the final mixture of E. So 20% more will be 36. And water equal to 40% more than the amount of water in the final mixture of E. 40% will become 28. Find the difference in the total quantity of mixture H, which is 64 and 50, 14 liters, B option. Yes, Abhijit. verbal nothing, just reading helps, right? So I first find out the E ka ratio. E comes as 30 and 20. So they said there is 20% more and 40% more, so total becomes 64, and original is 50, so 18 more. Yes, Prasanna, you can go with 2 RCs. Okay. I normally, my recommendation is not to keep targets. It creates pressure and therefore people falter. One of the biggest reason why people don't do well in the exam is people keep targets, and that's where then they falter as far as the exam goes. And then depends on your comfort level, but normally I tell people to keep puzzles later on, because once you get stuck in puzzle it can create stress. So maybe you can keep DI first. Okay, so if you look at it in this sum, what are the interests? You have number of years is 6 and percentage rate of interest is 8%. So total interest is 6 8s are 48%. So when you say 6 years interest rate is 8%, 48%. So principal is P. Okay, interest will be 0.48p, 48%. You can maybe mark as multiple of 48 straight away, but anyway, so difference P minus P upon 2, half of P minus 0.48p is equal to 1000. If you solve this, 0.02p is 1000, P is equal to 50,000. So we want interest is 48% of 50,000, which will come to 24,000. C option. Special batch, that's already started. Shubham Kunchanwar, it's already started batch, but that doesn't make a difference. What you learn here and there, it's same thing, so I don't think it makes a big difference. So Abhijit, there are different people. There are people who only solve 2 puzzles, also got in a range of 135-40. There are people who also solve 6 and puzzles, also have been in a range of 135-40. So it is individual preference. Each has its own strengths and weakness, and based on that you can if you got rank 15 in the initial mocks, first, second, then possible. Later mocks, the number of people written was less. So basically you have to be in the top 5% of the people who have written a mocks. So initial mock, there are 300 people, so first 5% is. So I'll check, Shubham. So send it tomorrow. Check if you're already there. If not, you can call up the office tomorrow and check up. Okay, let me start with this. So here the ratio is 2:3. So 2:3. If this is 90,000, this is 60,000. So you get 28,800 as the value. So 28,800 out of 60,000 is how much interest? break it up. 6 4s are 24, 8s are 48, so you get 0.48 percentage. So 48% in 3 years, so every year it will be 16 percentage, so A option. Okay, repeat again. Ratio B and C is 3:2. If 3 stands for 90, then B will stand for 60,000. In this 60,000, okay, 28,800 is 48% of 60,000, and 3 years, so 3 16s are 48, so 16% every year. Or you can use PNR upon 100. 28,800 is equal to 60,000 into 3 into R upon 100, and solve. You'll get 16%. Can say that, yes, similar level. Look, normally ranks are not a very good indicator of whether you get into JB or not, purely because there's so many mocks people have distributed, so automatically, and some maybe really good people may not even writing some mocks, so we don't know. So just do your best and you know how the exam will go. So 9,000 less, C is 9,000 less than A. So C is 36,000, so A will be 45,000, 9,000 more. Yes. So you can again use PNR upon 100, or you can make out that 45 upon 75 is 60%. So 12% every year. To get 60%, you require 5 years. Either you can do 45,000 is equal to 75,000 into n into 12 upon 100. You will get n equal to 5. Or you can directly make 45 out of 75 is 60%, and 12% 1 year or 60% will give you 5 years. Yes, normally in the exam you'll have that some sets easy, some set tough. You have to work on the easy sets and solve. Then I would talk to many people. No one is sure whether normalization happens or not happens. Because if normalization happens, the mark should be in decimals, and because the marks are in integers, we are not sure about it. Okay, coming to it, 63,000 into 5, 3,15,000 is the total amount. From that, these three, 40 plus 90 plus 75 is 205. So if you remove 205,000 from here, what is left is 110,000. 100,000 is nothing but B and D put together, and difference is 10,000, so 50,000 and 60,000. So D will be 50,000, B option. Yeah, the D will be 50,000, which is B option. So total is 315,000. From that 2,05,000 is what is given to you. So from the balance it will be 1,10,000. One value is 10,000 more than the other. So which is 50 and 60,000 possible. So answer will be B option. However, now you can freeze strategies. High time, only 1 week is left, so you can freeze a strategy now. So if you look at 40% of B's, so 40% of 28800, 10% is nothing but 2880. So 40% is into 4, which will come to 11520. Now in this 320 less, if you subtract, you get 11200 is the interest of E, 11,200. So again you can make out 11,200. 11,200 is how much interest? 2 is 8, 28 I think, 28%. So 2 years, so it will be 14% every year. C option. Okay, 28% interest, 2 years. So 2 years means every year it will be 14% interest. So 14 will be the answer. Okay, it is a little tough, but just to understand it, let's just take a sum on ratio of persons. So it's basically 5 different persons complete a work, table shown, total number of days taken by 5 different persons. So if A takes 10 days, then P will take 5 to 8, so P will take 16 days. A takes 10 days, P takes 16 days. Same way, B takes 15 days, 3 5s are 15, so Q will take 20 days, 3:4 ratio. This is not tough, you can solve it. I mean, just try solving one sum and then I'll take it up. Yes, Abhishek, depends on your strength and weakness. 40 minutes if it's a strength is fine. Go back to all your strategy, Ajay, and see which were comfortable or not. M is not there. M is what you have to calculate, Piyush. M is not given, that is what you have to calculate. Let's try to understand. A and R started to work. So A takes 10 days, we know. Okay, A takes 10 days. R is here, C is to R. So C takes 12 days, so R will take 24 days. So I know R takes 24 days. And after 5 days, A left the job. So A must have done 5 out of 10 work, which is 50% work. So A must have done. A does 1 day 1 upon 10 work, so 5 days it does 5 upon 10 work, and Rn complete remaining work in 3.5 days. There's a mistake out here. 3.5 days. Sorry, it's 3.5 days. So that means R does 8.5 days of work in 24 days plus M does 3.5 work in X days. Total they complete the work. This is one way to do it. Okay, the mistake 3.5. You can take LCM also, will be the same thing. So you can take 3.5 upon X is equal to 1 minus half minus 8.5 upon 24. This will be 3.5 upon 24 you get. So automatically you get X as 24. So A option. Difficult, but just to familiarize, I thought I'll get the question out here. Yeah, Ashwin, Mohammed Qais, Qazi, yeah. So I repeat again, A does 10 days of work, so he does 5. A can complete the work in 10 days, he does 5 days of work, so 5 upon 10. R can complete the work in 24 days, he does 8.5 days of work, so 8.5 upon 24 is what R does. So A does, R does. So M, let him complete in X days, he works for 3.5 days, so 3.5 upon X. If you solve, you should get X as 3.24, you'll get X as 24. Okay, we'll try this one sum. Yeah, scores can always improve in CET. I think your LRD is a little lower side. Try to look at how to improve that. Per day. I didn't understand, Rajat. Okay, I'll try this sum. I'll try to do by LCM method. Okay. So B 15 days we know. S, so D is 18 days, S is 21 days. So we have 15 and 21. LCM is 105. So 15 7 is 105, 21 5 is 105. This is for B and S. So S last may work for 9 days. So it works 5 into 9, 45 amount of work was done by S. This is S amount did the work, 45. Which means the remaining 60 amount of work, that is 105 minus 45, was done by both B and S. So if one day they can do 12 work, so to do 60 amount of work, how long they will take? 5 days. The D option. Hi Bharat. Okay, I hope you understand it clear. I repeat this again. We have B and S. I'm doing by LCM method. You can do by any other method you want. B 15 days and S takes 21 days. So LCM of them is 105. So B per day will do 7 amount of work. S per day will do 5 amount of work, because 15 7 is 105 and 21 5 is 105. Now S works for last 9 days. So 5 9s are 45 work S does. So remaining work 105 minus 45, 60 work is done by both B and S. So number of days is 60 upon 7 plus 5, which will come to 5 days. So automatically you get the answer as 5 days. Right, I hope it's clear. Right, so I've just taken a few sums of DI. This is just maybe a little traditional. Whether it will come in the exam or no, I don't know. But if you're familiar with this and a similar sum come in the exam, you need not wait and think about how to solve it. That's the advantage of these type of questions, that if I know, I should be able to directly solve it. Also, one, be very clear with a arithmetic based DI is the questions are very lengthy. The question, like here the question is just two-liner, so it's fine, I can read it. But I've seen arithmetic based, yeah, where the questions are huge, 4-5 lines per question. Doesn't make sense to select it. Just directly leave the set and go ahead. If the questions are short, you can solve it. It will not be much of calculations. But if the questions are long, it takes a longer time to solve and doesn't make sense to solve that. So learn how to pick simple sums and try to solve. Right? Yeah, perfect. So good night and see you in the next session. I don't know whether I'll be able to take session tomorrow. Sunday it will depend upon Unacademy. I'll check with them and then maybe we'll see. Yeah, same could come in the exam on Gita. If it comes, I don't think it will come more difficult than this. It should come similar level. Thank you.